G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're going to have a look at the Prototype. Now this is a premium tank, battle rating 6.0, tank destroyer obviously, and sits in the Japanese tree at rank 4. So this is basically your rank 4 bundle grinder. Is it a good tank? Sort of. It has a really good gun. It sits at a good battle rating where it can fight stabilized tanks. It can fight things like the Centurion, T-29, and tanks like that. But it can also face everything down to 76 Shermans and the 76 Jumbo, which it can really make absolute mincemeat out of. It does have a minimum of 120 millimeters of armor, so you can actually pen it with a Japanese 75 and a German 75 very easily. But if the enemy doesn't know where to shoot, you can survive a fair amount of shots. What's even better is when no one else is shooting at you and the enemies just fall right into your hands. This match was absolutely insane. I got double figures in kills. I won't tell you exactly how many, but I got an absolute metric fuck ton of kills. There goes the first one, T-34-85, sitting there camping, so I decided to pop one in, and the 105mm experimental gun does the rest. Another unsuspecting T-34-85 meets his demise shortly after. And there I go. Go for the flank, looking for an IS-1, but unfortunately he disappears into cover. I see that B is being very heavily contested, so I've got my gun trained there in that little gap, just looking for someone, and unfortunately someone slips past. Doesn't matter, there's an STA-2 coming to reinforce, so I decide to push down a little bit further, making sure that nothing is coming from their spawn, but at the same time making sure nothing is coming onto my sides, because this thing has bugger all side armor, and you really want to make sure that you do not get shot in the sides, because that will be the end of you. You do not have a turret to turn around, and you have nothing else once you have been flanked. Now, I tried to get a shot in on this tank here, but I see an IS-2 pushing instead, so I'll take him. I do receive a shot to the front, but that really good armor stops that Russian 85mm gun, and I am able to escape. Now, he tries for the push again. Very unwise decision, and meets his demise as well. You can see that if you shoot the wrong spot on the Prototype, you can very easily non-pen. But if you do shoot that right spot, which is, I believe, just above the casement, you can pretty much disable the tank and then just go in for the final shot and take it out. Now I've looked at my ammo count and realized I'm getting a little bit low, so I've got to watch it, but at the same time we're in a target rich environment here. There goes an AMX M4, and that is a really nice kill, shooting just in that really cheesy little spot, and an FV-4202 shortly afterwards contesting B. Now I've noticed that none of my team is around the B point, so in order to win this game I have to just run in and cap. I've got pretty much no other choice, otherwise I'm going to risk it being contested by another enemy tank, and if he spots our Tiger 1s, STAs, that's not a good time for us. That, and I'm starting to run really low on ammo, so I need to get my shit together really fast. Running into the cap, you can see the Proto doesn't have very good mobility. It's sort of good enough, but it could be a lot better. I wish it had a bit more mobility so I could get into those really good spots nice and quickly, but unfortunately that's not what we get, and we're just going to have to roll with crappy mobility. But that doesn't matter because we've got armor and we have a good gun, and provided that we keep the main casement facing towards the enemy, we have a fighting chance at taking them all out. Now, foolishly, I don't stop and go grab some more ammo. I just push forward, and there's a Centurion 1, who's also very foolish, and I just put one into his side, overmatch the side, and take out all of his crew. Very, very easy kill. Now, I'm corner peeking and making sure there's no one. What do you know? There's another Frenchie. And that 105mm absolutely destroys him. It has a fair amount of spalling, actually. So the damage is very, very good post-pen. You've just got to make that penetration count. Now, I know my team is pushing up to C, so I'm going to push up with them. I don't want to be the front line, but I also don't want to be too far back, because then I'm not going to be able to support them. And very smart me decides to be the front line, because I don't pay enough attention to my team, sit in the cap, and I'm the first one to contest the cap. My team is going to come up shortly afterwards and give me a hand, but for the most part, I don't see anyone. But my team decides to strafe a tank, and I'm just looking out around that corner. There he is, Centurion Mark 1. I believe he was the guy from before. I push and go for that lovely little spot, only 150mm thick, and take him out. Very, very easy kills at this battle rating. This is not quite a full down tier. This is a 6.3 to 5.3, but I'm absolutely going nuts. Cap the C point, and I forget to look at my ammo. And what do you know? I'm on a couple of shells left. Don't really want to push it. I really should not be pushing it like that. But another T-34 comes out, and I just cannot resist. There we go, down to 4 shells. I finally realized that, hey, maybe pushing isn't a very smart idea, and decide to roll back. But looking for kills has me a bit greedy. I'm already on a roll, and I decide, you know what, I want this AA. Not many people left, so I thought I'd go for it, but someone else gets the kill. And I think to myself, you know what, if I get caught out against an enemy tank, I'm not going to have a lot of luck. So I decide to sit in the cap and grab some ammo. I noticed that A was being decapped and being contested, so I thought maybe I should go for that. But judging by the mobility of the tank, I just did not want to push that. I left my team to do that, and I thought, if I need the ammo first, I've got to sit in this cap and get the ammo. I've got that Tiger 2P to give me a hand if I need anything. He seems to have been doing relatively well all game. And there he goes. He's just marked a tank, which I don't see. And there he goes, peeking from the corner. He doesn't shoot me, and I shoot him. Lovely, lovely kill. T-34s are very bunched up on the inside. Their tank isn't very spacious. But as soon as you can get a shot into the tank, you are almost guaranteed a kill, which is really, really nice. And with 200mm of pen on the Hori Prototype, that's a very, very easy job to pen a T-34-85. I find that driving this tank can be a very, very big joy, provided that your team works together. But German teams and working together don't really go hand in hand, so it's kind of a rarity that I get such a phenomenal match like this. The tank itself is quite good. It's not terribly great, but it's not terrible either. The gun is fantastic, as you've seen. The reload rate is mediocre, but it's okay. The mobility is okay. The armor is okay. It's a really, really nice tank, provided that your team works with you. It's not one of those tanks that you can sort of go in balls to the wall and just destroy everyone. But it is a fairly nice tank overall, and I would definitely recommend getting it. Now, I will I won't leave it here. I'll show you another game where I had quite a lot of fun in my Hori prototype again, with another double-digit match. Here I am on El Alamein, and this time I'm on the Allied side. They've all decided to push for the cap very early, which is quite normal for Allied teams at this BR. They'll tend to sort of push, and if they get pushed back, it's very, very hard for them to recover. The Tigers and the Panthers generally tend to either steamroll or get steamrolled. But I found myself a Panther as I roll down the hill. The gun traverse is okay on the Hori prototype, but I decide to back it up just so I can get this kill quicker. And boom. Watching that 105mm do the work. Destroys the ammo racks, all of them. Also, for those of you who do drive Panthers, please don't take full ammo. I beg you. All of these Panther drivers seem to be taking quite large amounts of ammo. And it leaves them to be very, very easy one-shots, especially for British tanks which have poor post-pen on the APDS shells. A very easy way to increase your survivability is to take less ammo. And what I've done here is I've taken, I believe, 15 shots, which will end up getting me killed. I should have probably taken about 20 or 25. But I'm so terrified of being a one-shot ammo rack to someone with APCR that I just take less ammo as it is. I find that people in tanks with large ammo capacities tend to take ridiculous amounts of ammo, which makes it very, very easy for me. And although if you are a really bad shot and you're really hopeless with your aim, I would still not recommend you taking a full ammo rack. There's me just putting one into a Tiger. Oh no, a Panzer IV. Hit the ammo rack, but you can see what an ammo rack shot will do if you land it. And the more ammo racks that you have around, the greater chance you have of happening. So there's one for you, ladies and gents. Don't take as much ammo. I would recommend taking anywhere between 25 and 30 shots, depending on your tank. If your tank is a bit slower at firing, so for example like the Hori Proto, I would recommend you take about 20 shells and don't take any high explosive. It's just easier not to take any high explosive. And there you can see with the Hori how when you use the armor correctly and when they don't know where to shoot you, you can actually survive a fair amount of shots. But the enemy's pushing. So what do? I'm the aggressive idiot I am, and I push. I just push for the enemy's camping spots, trying to get them out of those little hidey holes. This would have been better for me to do it in an STA or something else like that, like an M41 Walker Bulldog. But I'm in the Hori, and all I care about is getting rid of those campers. If there's one thing that I really don't like, it's people sitting at the back of the map. And as a result, I will play extra aggressive just to unroot them. It makes me really, really salty when I get killed by one. But that's beside the point. There's a Tiger 1 looking for his camping spots. And there we go. Ammo rack. This guy took full ammo and he suffered the consequences. If he didn't take a full ammo load, he may have still had his gunner. Because I shot in a kind of crappy spot. And it seems like the shots got absorbed. And he just blew up because of my ammo. My good post pen. One thing you do have to look out for in the Hori prototype are SPAA. As soon as an SPAA gets on your side, you're practically dead. And as soon as they shoot out your gun, you're practically dead. You haven't got any secondary guns. So you've got to be really, really careful of that. Another thing you've got to be pretty careful of is anything with a long 88 or more than 180mm of pen. Clearly this Waffenträger doesn't know where to shoot me. He's bounced his shot. and I've missed my shot completely. I'm looking for a better way to engage this guy. We're both tank destroyers, we both have terrible mobility, and then I turn around and notice a friendly M18 behind me. So I ping the map, tell the M18 to go flank, and there we go. Beautiful display of teamwork. Good on the M18. As soon as the M18 decides to push, I decide to push at the same time. Remember, that is very, very important. You make sure you push at the same time as your friendly. I get a good shot, take out his engine, take out his driver, and take out his gunner. He can't move, he can't fire, but the M18 gets taken out behind me from somewhere where I didn't see. So I quickly finish off the Waffenträger and look for whatever was shooting at me. I think it might have been a plane, and beautiful shot here, takes out the plane. That has to be one of the most satisfying kills I've ever gotten in the entirety of my War Thunder career. A tank destroyer is very, very hard to aim, and anything without secondary armament makes getting a plane kill very, very difficult. So if you can take down a plane in your Ho-Re Proto, you're either very lucky or very, very good, and I would consider myself the former. Here we go, another M18 with me as reinforcement, but we've left the cap uncontested. You've got to really, really watch yourself when you do stuff like that, especially when you're fighting Germans. The Germans will somehow manage to turn that around on you, and you won't be sure what happened. But you'll also find that if you're fighting the Germans and you have the Americans on your side, you'll often lose a bunch of Hellcats to hull break mechanics and overly aggressive overextensions, and then you'll find that you just absolutely wasted your whole team. Now, we eventually win this game, we basically claw it back, but here I am with a couple of shells left in the breach, overextended, and we don't have the cap. So, to top that off, I've got an enemy tank heading my way, and I destroy him. One shell left in the breach. What do? Should have taken more ammo. It is 100% my fault, but there he is off to the right. I butched the shot, and there we go. No ammo left. I've got to try and back myself up. I've got no other option but to try and back myself up and rely on my team to cap that point. And since we lost a bunch of Hellcats and we're down to a couple of SPAA and a couple of medium tanks, we haven't really got a massive chance of bringing this back in the current state. We'd need a bit more of than a miracle to take that back. Once you're caught out like that in the Ho-Re, there's nothing you can do. You're a lone tank destroyer. You haven't really got the armor to sustain hits from the side or hits in those driver's slits on the gunner slit. If I had ammo, I could have taken out that Tiger 1 and made that one more kill. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to rest on 10 kills. There's nothing I can do here. There's absolutely nothing. I have no ammo, no caps, no team. So I'm just backing up, hoping for a miracle, and turns out the Tiger 1 finds me from behind and takes me out. But before that, that tank over there, I believe it's a Tiger 1 as well, gets a really nice shot through that gunner's hatch and takes out my loader. Now, that there is the 120mm weak spot, and you'll find that if people know where to shoot, they'll really dispatch you quite quickly. And once you've been set on fire, your engine gets taken out, and there's nothing else you can do. Unfortunately, I rest there on 10 kills in that spawn. I have a backup though, so I decide to spawn again. Long story short, we eventually win by capping them out. Some really, really good teamwork on our part, and some luck as well. Anyways, ladies and gents, if you want to pick up the Ho-Re Prototype, I recommend that you definitely do that. But for now, I'll catch you later. Make sure you have a good one, and I'll see you next time.